This conference will now be recorded.
So guys, in the last class, if you remember, it's been a while, I know, okay. Hang on. Oh, okay. I need those running notes. Okay. So So in the last class, guys, if you remember, we have discussed about correlation, and in correlation as well, okay, we have discussed about how to randomly pick one value from the array, okay. So we have seen that, okay. So we have picked randomly one pet, which is fish, or maybe cat, or maybe dog. So out of all the options available, we try to pick one value, or we have picked one value randomly from that list. Okay, we have correlated and picked randomly one value. So we have seen how that is done. Okay, so that was the last class. It's kind of important because they might ask you in the interview as to how to randomly pick one value from the options available. Okay, so today, okay, we're gonna see something called a master slave configuration. Okay, so we'll do something called a master slave configuration. So before I jump into it, okay, I'll ask a quick question to you guys. So when we were taking the LoadRunner sessions, okay, in the LoadRunner, okay, so can you tell me where will the virtual users comes from? Okay, where will the virtual user come from? Okay, in the LoadRunner, can one of you unmute or use your chat window? Where would your virtual users comes from? From the LG machines. Okay, from the LG machine. Okay, so let's say I have only one LG machine. Okay, and it can support, let's say, 350 users or 300 virtual users. Okay, every virtual user has a limitation. Okay, let's say one LG machine will support 300 virtual users, let's assume. Okay, but you wanted to do a load test with 600 virtual user, then what would you do in this case, guys? What would you do in this case? So there seems to be a lot of echoing for Hagos. Is this same for all of you guys? I've joined from two machines. That could be a problem. There is the reason why I've joined from two machines. But everybody is seeing that echo, guys. Hago is hearing an echo. Is just in his system or it's everybody's system? Can somebody please confirm? Okay, so Hagos looks like it's only on your system. Okay, everybody else is good. So if the echoing is continued, please, maybe you have joined from two machines or something like that. Hagos, can you check, or maybe you can, what do you say, log out and log back in if it is too disturbing for you. Okay, so then you would have to use two LG machines. Okay, so if there are more virtual users, you add one more LG machines. So in LoadRunner, this is called an LG machine. Okay, but if you, I've already told you, if it was another tool, okay, we can call this as an agent machine, or or what else we can call it as a load. Any idea, guys? Since it's LoadRunner, we call it as an LG machine, which is load generator machine. But if it was another tool called like Jmeter, okay, the same thing happens in Jmeter, or maybe let's say RPT, Rational Performance Tester, or Oracle Application Testing Suite, or this thing. Is there a generic name that we can call? Yes, we can call it as an agent machine. But other than that, is there any other word that we can use? Yes, it's called load injector. Okay, load injector. So depending on the tool, they call it as load injector or agent machine or load generators. In LoadRunner, we generally call it as load generators, but in other tools, you can call it as an agent machine or load injector. Okay, so do we have this concept in Jmeter? Yes, we can have this concept in Jmeter as well. But typically the Jmeter machine itself can give you certain users. Okay, we don't have anything called LG particularly. Just like we have in LoadRunner, we have an LG machine. We don't have an LG machine. The Jmeter itself will give you the virtual machine users, which you have been seeing it. So you don't need a separate LG machine to give you those virtual users. The Jmeter machine itself will give you the virtual users, but okay, it has its limitations. The Jmeter will have its limitations as well. Okay, depending on the configuration of the Jmeter machine. Okay, Jmeter system or machine. Okay, it can give you certain number of virtual users. Okay, it will give you certain number of virtual users. Okay, now okay, so I have Jmeter installed on this machine. I have Jmeter installed on that machine. Okay, I'm opening the Jmeter here. I have Jmeter installed. Let's say I have a script as well. Okay, so I'll open one script. Okay, some script. Okay, so okay, I have this script which is open. Okay, so the script is there. Okay, this is to purchase the script, so let me call this as purchase the script. Okay, purchase script is what we will call it. Okay, purchase order or purchase script. Okay, so it will go ahead and sign in. Even though it says sign out here, it will go ahead and sign in and select a product, and it will go ahead and check out and purchase the particular product. Okay, now you wanted to run this with certain number of users. Okay, so you will give the number of users here. Later on I'll talk about this ultimate thread group, guys. For now, we'll add a normal thread group here. Okay, so let's say we were running this with 100 users. Okay, let's say we are running this with 100 users and forever. Okay, let's assume. So these 100 users, whatever the 100 users that you're giving here, this load runner, this Jmeter itself is giving. There is no separate component called load generator in Jmeter. We don't have separate component called load generator in Jmeter. The Jmeter itself is giving this 100 users. The Jmeter, there is no separate components in Jmeter. The Jmeter is giving this 100 users. Okay, fine, all good, all good. Okay, so on my machine, I have Jmeter installed. Okay, Jmeter installed, and I said I'm using one script. Okay, I'm using some script. Okay, okay. So there is a script called purchase order script. Okay, purchase order script, and I'm running this with 100 users. I'm running this with 100 virtual users. Okay, 100 virtual users. All good. All these 100 users will go ahead and run this purchase order script. Who is giving this 100 users? The Jmeter itself is giving. Okay, now your client came and said that no, it's not 100 users, it's 200 users. Go ahead and change this to 200. Now you are running this with 200 users, no issues. He said no, it's not 200, it's 500. Go ahead and change this to 500, and this 500 users will be given by this Jmeter. So it said, okay, this test is done. Run one more test with 1,000 users. So you are given this 1,000 users. Okay, now tell me, with 500 users, my Jmeter were able to give all the 500 users and able to run. Now 1,000 users, do you think my Jmeter will be able to give this 1,000 users, guys? Just a hunch. Okay, what do you guess? Will be able to give this 1,000 users my Jmeter? You need not have to be correct answer, but just give me any answer, yes, no, or whatever it is. Okay, but I want to hear from all the 9 students who have joined. Okay, complete participation from all the 9 students. Okay, so the answer is don't know. Okay, might give me, might not give me. I don't have any idea about it. Okay, the client said not 1,000 users, 10,000 users. Run it with 10,000 users. Now you're guessing that maybe it is possible, may not be it is possible. He said 100,000 users. Okay, Now there is a bigger doubt in your mind saying that, there is a possibility that, my Jmeter will not be able to run it with 100,000 users. What is stopping you, or what is stopping Jmeter? Okay, one thing I'll tell you, okay, Jmeter is an open source tool, guys. Jmeter is open source tool, okay, which means that it will not charge you for anything, okay, it will not charge you per users as well as the tool, okay. So from Jmeter there is no limitation, okay. You can have any number of users. You have 100,000 or 1 million users, you don't have any limitation from Jmeter. Jmeter can give you all the users that you want, okay. Then where is the limitation coming from? Where is the limitation coming from? Any idea, guys? Okay, where is the limitation coming from? The Jmeter is an open source tool. It doesn't have any issues giving you those 100,000 users or 1 million users. But you're saying that it is impossible or it's not possible. Where is the limitations coming from? Okay, so you see that Jmeter is installed on this machine, which is my desktop. Okay, and let's look at the configuration of the desktop. What is it? It is hardly a 16 GB RAM, okay, with an i5 processor, okay, with an i5 processor, a 16 GB RAM, okay. So you see my machine on which the Jmeter is running, okay, it is having a 16 GB RAM, okay, and i5 processor is okay, okay, i5 processor. Okay, so the processing speed is pretty good for hyperprocessor. Okay, so i5 processor. Now out of this 16 GB, if you ask me honestly, okay, so all the 16 GB you will not be able to use it because already 6 GB is already used, okay, for various tasks. This 6 GB is already used for the operating system, which is Windows 7 running, and then I have certain applications which I've already opened. So for various tasks, already 6 GB is being used. So out of 16 GB, 6 GB is used. So how much is left? 10 GB is left. Okay, so 10 GB is left. Okay, so now can I use all the 10 GB? To be honest, no. There should be always some amount of RAM which should be left. You cannot use 100% of the RAM. There should be some percentage of RAM which should be always less. Always be remain. Let's say 2 GB of RAM should be always be left. So which means that you can use 8 GB on this machine. Okay, you can use 8 GB on this machine. Okay, 8 GB RAM on this machine, or 8 GB of memory. Instead of saying RAM, the better word to use is memory. To I can use. So for Jmeter to create a virtual user, it will use certain amount of memory and it will use certain amount of processor time. Okay, it will use certain amount of memory and certain amount of processing time. Okay, processor time. So I don't know whatever is the memory footprint for Jmeter. I never calculated. So it will use certain amount of memory and certain amount of processor. Depending on it, let's say it uses 1 MB of RAM. Okay, let's use just okay, just for our discussion purposes, it uses 1 MB of memory. Okay, so for 1 MB of memory. So based on these calculations, okay, based on these calculations, it can give you maybe 1000 for 1 GB, 1000 users. Instead of 1 MB, let's to make the calculation simple, let me set 10 MB of RAM for every virtual user. So for 1 GB approximately, okay, with these calculations for 1 GB, okay, approximately 100 users, I believe, okay, it can give you 100 users. Okay, 100 users for every GB, so I have 8 GB, so it can give you 800 users. Just okay, just assuming that for one user, okay, one user, 10 MB of memory is needed, okay, by Jmeter. Just an assumption, guys. We don't know exactly. It totally depends upon the complexity of the script. So many other factors, okay. But just for our discussion purposes, okay, we'll say for every user 10 MB of memory is required. So for 8 GB, we'll give you approximately 800 users, okay, because 1 GB is close to 1024 MB. So 1 GB will give you 100 users, for 8 GB 800 users. Just a rough calculations, guys. Just a rough calculations. So it can give you 800 users. So my machine, which has 16 GB RAM, which is installed, out of which 8 GB is what I can utilize for the Jmeter. So it can give you approximately 800 to 1000 users, 800 to 1000 users. But if I wanted to run it with 2000 users, so now my machine where the Jmeter is installed, based on the rough calculations, it is giving you, let's say, 800 to 1000 users. Okay, 800 to 1000 users. Let me round it off to 1000 users. Okay, 1000 virtual users. Now I wanted to run a test with 2000 users. I wanted to run a test with 2000 users. Okay, so now what do I do? My machine, okay, can give you only 1000 users, but the test needs to be run with 2000 virtual users. So can we say that it's not possible, or do you think there's something that can be done? What do you say, guys? Can we blatantly say that, oh, it's not possible because my machine with the configuration that I have, okay, it's not possible to run with 2000 virtual users. Max it can run with 1000 virtual users. Let's say that, or let's find out another alternative. Okay, we have to find out another alternative. We have to find out another alternative. Okay. Okay, one alternative, the first alternative is, okay, increase the memory, which is RAM, okay, which is RAM, and processing speed of your Jmeter machine. Okay, that's the first option. But only to certain extent you can increase, right? 16 GB RAM, I can make it to 32 GB RAM, and that's about it. But I can't increase it indefinitely because, let's say there is a limitation on this. Okay, so there is a limitation on it. It's not a wonderful alternative. It's not a great alternative. So you increase it to 32 GB RAM, you can get it done with 2000 users. But let's say they want you to run with 100,000 users or maybe 10,000 users. They want you to run with 10,000 users. You can't keep increasing the memory indefinitely. We can't keep increasing the memory indefinitely. So first option is not a feasible option all the time. First option is not a feasible option. Okay, so now, 1 second. On my laptop, the power is going away. I need that laptop, guys. Hang on 1 second. Just hold on for a minute, okay? I'm plugging the power for my laptop. Yeah, wonderful. Okay, so now the first option is not a good option because you can increase the memory only to a certain extent, which means that you can run the test with only certain number of virtual users. The second option is go with something called a master slave. Go with something called a master slave, wherein master is my machine where the Jmeter is installed, my machine where my Jmeter is installed. So whatever the machine that you're seeing here, this is my master machine. Okay, now the slave machine could be any machine. Okay, and any machine. What is a slave machine? A slave machine can be any machine. Okay, any machine. Okay, which could be Windows 7 or Windows 10 or whatever it is. Okay, but Jmeter needs to be installed. Any machine with Jmeter installed. Okay, any machine where Jmeter is installed. Okay, so this can be a slave machine. So for my demonstration purposes, what I'm doing is a master machine is what you're seeing right now, which is my desktop, Okay, it has what, 16 GB RAM. Okay, 16 GB RAM and i5 processor. Okay, i5 processor. This is why my master machine. My slave machine is a laptop. Okay, is my laptop right now. Okay, so I don't know the configuration of it. I think it is 8 GB RAM. Okay, with AMD processor. Okay, so this is my laptop. Okay, so that's what I'm considering. So Are we clear so far, guys? Are we clear so far? Are we clear so far, everybody? Everybody, guys? Yeah. So why we are going with this master and slave configuration, guys? Master, it can give you only certain number of users. Let's say this is giving 1000 users. So from the master, I'm taking 1000 users. Okay. Now from the slave machine, what I'm taking is, okay, I'm taking another 1000 users. Okay. So if you want 3000 users, you can add one more slave. Okay. Let's say this is slave one. You can add one more slave, which is one more machine. It could be a laptop or desktop or some other machine, and you can get one more 1000 users. Okay, so you can have any number of slaves, guys. You can have any number of slaves. Okay, so and one more thing, the script needs to be there only on the master machine. The script need not have to be there on the slave machine. Need not have to be there on the slave machine. This is something which is important. Okay, script should be open and available only on the master machine. On the other machines, the script need not have to be there. The other machines is only for creating the virtual users. The script need not be present on the other machines. Okay, so that's what is important. Okay, now for my demonstration, I'm using only one slave. So whether it is one slave, 10 slaves, the steps are same. Okay, so I'm using only slave. Okay, now so to quickly explain what I'm doing, okay, so here is my master machine and here is my slave machine. Okay, so master machine is my desktop, slave machine is my laptop. Okay, so on the master machine I have Jmeter installed or Jmeter tool running. Okay, and also my script is uploaded. My script is also there on this particular desktop machine. On my laptop, which is a slave machine, all I have is a Jmeter installed. So this is my master. Okay, and this is my slave. Okay, so I'm getting, let's say, 1000 users from here. Okay, and 1000 users from here, and 1000 users from here. Okay, so from the slave machine, I'll give 1000 more users. I don't need the script to be uploaded or present on the slave machine because slave machine is only to give you the virtual users. Master machine, you need the script so that Jmeter knows which script to run, and also it can give you the 1000 users virtual. Okay, are we clear, guys, so far? So let's go into the configuration part now. Let's go into the configuration and make my desktop as the master machine and make my laptop as a slave machine. If you have any questions, you can stop me now and ask before I start the configurations. Okay. Now, what is the first step? I'm now doing the master slave configuration. Here are the steps. The very first is on both the master and slave, the Jmeter should be available. I've installed, I have the Jmeter present on both the master and slave, guys. So it is just about, you know how to put the Jmeter on certain machines. So this is available now. Both master and slave should be there on the same network. This is one of the very important. Okay, if the interview they will ask you, they might not ask you directly, did you do master slave configuration? They might ask you a question saying that if your master or your Jmeter machine is not giving you enough users, what do? You will go with a master slave configuration. And then you tell me, did you do it? Answer should be yes. What are the steps? The first step on me to make sure is, okay, both master and slave machine should be there on the same network. Okay, so let me add this as the first step and then this as the second step. Okay, first get the IP addresses for both master and slave machines. Okay, first let's get the IP addresses. Once you get the IP addresses, we can verify both of them on the same network or not. Okay, so first get the IP addresses. How do I get the IP addresses? Simple, go to the command prompt and say IP config. Again, say IP config and look at the IP address of the first machine. 192.168.0.103. This is for the master machine, guys. So this desktop, whatever I'm showing you is the master machine. So look at the IP address. What is the IP address of the desktop, guys? What is the IP address? What is the IP address, guys? It is, what is the IP address? It is 192.168.0.103. Okay, 192.168.0.103. Okay, so 192, no, it's not working. 192, yeah, 192.168.0.103. Okay, so that's what is the IP address of my master machine, 192.168.1.0. Okay, so 168.1.103, guys. Okay, let me erase this. Delete. Okay, let me write it down, guys. 192.168.1.103. Okay, I hope that's what is the IP address. 192.168.0.103. Sorry, guys, 0.103. Okay. Okay, so that's what is the master machine. Now let me connect to my laptop, guys. Let me connect to my laptop. So right now I'm connecting to my laptop. Yes, Narendra. Good question. Narendra is asking me, Jmeter should be available on both master and slave. Should it be the same version? I think it should be the same version. I didn't try with the different versions. Ideally, it will be the same versions. You would want the same versions, right? We can try with different versions, but master should be latest and slave could be older version. But I didn't try. Ideally, it should be both same. Okay. So let's try the different versions as well, if possible today. Okay, but I think it has to be same versions. Okay, but it's a very valid question. Now let me log into the laptop, guys. Okay, make as a presenter. So guys, are you able to see my laptop screen? Everybody, are you able to see my laptop screen, guys? Now I've connected to my laptop. Yeah, and I hope you are able to hear me as well, because I think it will use the laptop now. Okay, laptop speakers. Okay, so are you able to hear me, guys? Are you able to hear me? Yeah, okay, wonderful. So now let me look at the IP address of this machine. Okay, so can somebody tell me what is the IP address here? What is the IP address? 192.168.0.104. Okay, now let me come back to my master machine, guys. Okay, so we got the IP address of the slave. Okay, so let me go back to my master machine. Okay, now I am presenting my master machine, guys. Okay, so the IP address is what? 192.168.0.104. Okay, now I got the IP addresses of both the master machine and the slave machine. Okay, what is the next step now? Next step is make sure both of them are in the same network. So Kumar, how can we make sure that we are in the same network? Okay, so to make sure that they are in the same network, either go to the slave machine and ping the master machine, or from the master machine ping the slave machine. If the ping is successful, then both of them are in the same network. What you are doing, from the master machine ping the slave machine, or from the slave machine ping the master machine. Okay, if they are in the same network, you will get the reply. Okay, now I am on the master machine, which is 192.168.0.3.103. I'll ping the slave machine. How do I ping the slave machine on my laptop? Just go to the command prompt and just say ping, okay, and then give the IP address. What is the IP address? 192.168.0.104. Okay, so from the master machine, I'm pinging the slave machine. Okay, if the ping is successful, you will get the reply. You see, pinging 192.168.104 with 32 bytes of data. So it has sent 32 bytes of data from the master to where? To this machine, which is 104, and you got the reply from 104, which means that both of them are in the same network. If you ping some other machine, let's say I have two more machines on my premises, okay, on my institute, but they are on the different network. So they have an IP address as 168.168.1.4. Okay, so if I ping, so it will try to ping. You see, it is trying to ping those machines, and it says request timed out, which means that they are on the different network. So if a particular machine is there on a different network, you will get a timeout. But here you didn't get a timeout, which means that this 104 is on the same network as 103. Okay, now we have confirmed that both of them are on the same network. Okay, are we clear so far, guys? These 2 points are clear to you, all of you? Okay, wonderful, wonderful. Okay, now now this step, watch carefully, guys. On the master machine, go to the Jmeter bin folder and execute a program called create RMI keystone. Okay, it will create RMI keystone. Okay, now watch carefully. Okay, I'll go to the bin folder of the Jmeter. Okay, Apache Jmeter. Hang on, guys. Okay, so go to the bin folder of Apache Jmeter, and here there is the program called create RMI keystone. Okay, create RMI keystone, which is a Windows batch file. There are 2 batch files. One is NSH. If you have installed Jmeter on a Unix machine, you would have to run this program. But now I have installed Jmeter, or I am running the Jmeter on a Windows machine. So if you are running the Jmeter on a Windows machine, you have to run these programs, which is Windows batch file. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and run this. I'm going to go ahead and run this. Oh, it is not running. So hang on 1 second. Let me close all the programs. Hang on, guys, 1 second. Good the time. 5 minutes in there. Okay, not sure why it is not running. Create RMI key store file. This program, maybe I need to restart the system. Any ideas, any suggestions here, guys? I need to run the program, but it's not running for whatever the reason. Okay, so maybe there's something on the background which is already running, or do you have any suggestions? Yesterday I ran it, it ran. Okay, yesterday I was just preparing for this class and I was able to execute this program, but today it seems to be weird. I don't know. Maybe on my what is this slave machine, I try to run it. Let's see if it's working. Hang on, guys. Let me run on the slave machine. Just give me 1 moment, guys. This is 5.1.1, right? So why is it not create? Create RMI key store. Create RMI key store. Yeah, it is not running here as well, because the setup is already done, and that could be the problem. Hang on, guys, 1 second. Maybe I'll check the Jmeter. The setup is already done. Yeah, the setup is already done, and that could be the issue. Okay, so that's why it is not able to create the key store file. So let me see. Hang on. So if as it creates, it will create a file called RMI keystore JKS. Let me delete this and then now run the keystore file. Okay, create RMI keystore. Okay, so the problem is, guys, I have identified the problem. As I create it, there is a file called keystore file that will be created. Since that keystore file is already available and created, okay, it is not allowing me to create one more. Okay, so there is a file called, okay, what was the file? RMI keystore.jks file will be created, and that file was already available here. So yesterday when I ran it, it has created. Since it's already created, it is not allowing me to run it. So you see, now I've created, you see, I've run this program, which is create RMI keystore file. You know, it is running the program. It is running the program. It is asking my my first name. I'm giving it as Isha. Okay. It is asking for my organization. I'm giving the Isha. Okay. Unit Isha. Okay. Name of the city, I am from place called Hyderabad. I'm giving that. I'm giving the state. Okay, so it's not important. Okay, so country code IN, you can give you all the information, and you say, the first name I've given Isha organization name. It is asking you whether this information is correct or not. I'll just say yes. Okay, it is asking the password. Okay, so I'm giving the password as perf Isha. Okay, I'm giving the password called perf Isha, and again it is asking confirm the password. I'm giving the perf Isha. Okay, so now I have given all that information. We not have to give you all the correct information. You can give whatever the information that is needed. Okay, it could be some dummy information as well. So as I gave that information, all the information seems to be as per its format. So what it has done, it has created this file rmi_keystore.js. Okay, see the timestamp 129/2020 It has just created this rmi_keystore.js. Okay, so on this note, I'll take a break. Now, after I come back, I'll tell you what needs to be done. How do I create this file? Just go ahead and execute this program called create RMI store, and it will ask you some basic information like first name, last name, and all that. Give that basic information, and it will create the RMI store. From where we need to run this particular program? On the master machine. On the master machine, go to the bin folder of Apache Jmeter and then execute this Windows executable file. Okay, on the master machine, not on the slave machine. Very, very important. Very, very important. Okay. So guys, I'll be back after the 10 minutes break. After the break, I'll tell you what we need to do with this RMI keystore.js. I'll be on mute until then. Okay. Hello, are you able to hear me? Okay, one of you please confirm. Yeah, okay. Thank you. Thank you. Okay. So, guys, before the break, what we have seen is we have created this file called rmikeystore.jks. How did I create the file? By executing this program called create RMI keystore. Okay. So it is more like a password and it is more like something, a file which connects both master and slave. Okay. It is more like something which connects both master and slave. Okay. As soon as I ran this program, it has created this file, RMI keystore file, which contains the password as well. Okay. Yeah. So now I need to put this in my slave machine. If I have more slave machines, I need to copy this into all the slave machines. I have only one slave machine. Let me copy this into my slave machine. So first let me email it to myself. Okay. Email it to myself. So I'm transferring this to the slave machine, guys. So I'm sending it to my slave machine. Okay, this is the file rmi_keystore.js. Okay. Okay. Now let's go to the slave machine, guys. Let me present my slave machine now. I'm making my slave machine as a presenter. Okay. Now we are in the slave machine, guys. So let me go back to my email to see, if the file is there. Yeah. Okay. So here is the file, guys. Here is the file. So open this file, download it. It's just a 3 KB file. It just contains some password and some basic information. So here is the new one. So I already had the old one. So that's the reason why, yesterday I have done it. Okay, this is the new one. So let me delete both of them. Okay. Okay. Let me download it again. Here is the file. I'm going to copy this file. I'm going to copy this file into my bin folder of my in my bin folder of my slave machine. You see, this is the slave machine, and here is the bin folder for the slave machine. Okay, so let me copy this. Okay, I've copied it. You see, rmikeystore.jk, and if you look at the timestamp, it is today's timestamp, which is 1:29:2020, 8:02 a.m. So you see, that's the timestamp. So I've copied this rmikeystore.jk file. So what did I do, guys? What did I do? I've created this file from the master machine and copied it to the slave machine. So let me make my master machine as a presenter now. So I'm switching back to my master machine, guys. So finally, okay. So what did I do, guys? What did I do? Okay. So far, what did I do? Okay. Got the IP addresses of both the machines, of both the master and the slave machines. Okay, so that's the first step. Second step is check both the machines are in same network. Okay, that is also done. That is also done. Third one is create RMI keystore file. Okay, keystore.jks file from master machine, okay, and copy that into slave machine. Where you have to copy into the bin folder of Jmeter, in the bin folder of Jmeter. Okay, bin folder of Jmeter. Okay, so 3 steps have been done, guys. 3 steps are done so far. Okay, are we clear with all the 3 steps? Okay, so it's not difficult to create this setup, guys. So 3 steps are done so far. Are we clear with all the 3 steps, guys? All of you? Very simple steps that are done. Okay, so now that's done. Okay, so finally we have to make some changes in the user properties files. Okay, so I'm going to share this Excel sheet to you or PPT to you, wherein this user properties file that you need to copy is attached here. You can double click on it to get the user properties files. So we can copy this user properties file into, you see, we need to copy this properties file. Where we need to copy this file, where we need to copy this user properties into a file called user.properties, into a file called user.properties. I'm going to show you where it is. Go to the bin folder. I am on the master machine. On the master machine, go to the Apache Jmeter bin folder and look out for a file called user properties. You see user properties file. Okay, I'm going to open this in a notepad++ file. I'm going to open this into a notepad++ file, and you see distribution testing configuration is already copied here. Distribution 2 times it is copied. Okay, so I'm going to delete this already, which is copied. Okay, so yesterday only I copied, so I'm going to copy it again. Okay, you see distribution testing configuration. Okay, so this user property sites, where do I get it from? When I was doing the research, I got it from the internet. Okay, one of the gentlemen has posted it over there, so it was working for me, so I've copied it, and the same thing I have put it on the PPT. I'm going to share this file with you. So you just have to open this user properties file, go open this user properties file, go all the way to the bottom, or go all the way to the bottom and paste it. Go all the way to the bottom and paste it. It has several properties. Okay, one is remote host, one is tries, retries, delay, and there are certain things. Okay, and you see what is the kind of key store file you are using? It is a JKS file. Okay, and what is the file name? rmi_keystore.jks, which I have already created. And what is the password which is there in the key store file? We have put it, if you remember, we have put it as perf Isha. We have put it as perf Isha. Okay, and what is the file? It is an RMI file. Okay, and there are other things. Okay, SSL needs to be disabled. Yes. Okay, so like this, there are other things. Okay, so make sure you change that files. Change those things. Only thing that you need to change is the password. The password, whatever the password you have put it while creating this RMI key store file, that password you can put it over here. And one more thing that you need to put is the IP addresses. The IP addresses of both the master and slave machine. IP addresses of both the master and slave machine. What is the IP addresses of both the master and slave base? 192.168.0.103 is the master machine. Okay, I believe so. Let me check it. 192.168.0.103. Okay, and 192.168.0.104 is the slave machine. Okay, 192.168.0.104. Okay, so now in this file that I have given you, you append to the last, you open the user properties file. Where will you get this? In the master machine, in the bin folder of Apache Jmeter. You will find this user properties file. Open this user properties file, and this user properties file, attach this distribution testing configuration to the last. Where will I get it? I will be sending it to you. Copy this to the bottom. Copy this to the bottom of the user properties file, and once it is copied, change the IP addresses and change the password. That's about it. Keep the other things as it is. Okay, are we clear so far, guys? Are we clear so far, all of you? Okay, now there is one change that we have to do. Instead of giving the IP address of the master machine, you can give 127.0.0.1. This is mandatory, guys. 0.1. Okay, 127.0.0.1. Okay, it's mandatory. Okay, so it's a guy called Sunil who have just joined. Sunil, have you been attending the classes, the Jmeter classes, Sunil? Or you have just, can you quickly tell me about yourself? I didn't see classes. Sunil. Oh, Sunil. Okay. Okay. So you see 127.0.0.1. Okay, this means it's a local machine or it is a host machine or master machine. Okay, so you can put it at 127.0.0.1 and this one is 192.168.103. Instead of this, I never tried giving 192.1. I never tried giving the IP address of the master machine. I think it will still work, but the recommendation from Jmeter is use 127.0.0.1, which means it is a local machine. Or usually it's called MAC address. MAC address, typically that's what they call it. Okay, so that's what we are supposed to give for the master machine. So recently, one of the students in the interview, they asked, did you do the master slave machine? And immediately they said, in the remote host, what is the IP address that you give for the master machine? Because this is a very mandatory thing. A lot of people will go ahead and give the IP address of the master machine, which is 192.168.0.103. I don't know if it will work or not, but this is what Jmeter is recommending us to use. So I'll use 127.0.0.1, which means it is a local machine or a master machine, or it is a MAC address of your network, of the complete network. Okay, so this is what. Okay, 127.0.0. Are we clear with this, guys? Okay, so in the interview specifically this was asked. So you need to remember this 127.0.0.1. Okay. Are we clear, guys? Are we clear with this one? Are we clear with this one? All of you? Okay. The only thing is, instead of the IP address of the master machine, you will give this one, which means that it is a local machine. Local machine as in the master machine. Okay. Yeah, that's what it is. Okay. How you need to remember, guys, because that's what Jmeter is recommending. Okay. Now, copy this same distribution testing configuration on the slave machine as well. Give the same thing. Okay, I've already copied onto the slave machine, but however, I'm gonna show it to you. Okay, let me connect to my slave machine. Let me show it. Show my slave machine to you. Okay, share. Okay, here is the slave machine. Here is the bin folder of the slave machine, guys. Okay, so let me go to the, which file should I go to, guys? Which file should I go to on the slave machine again? Which file should I go to? Which file should I go to on the slave machine again? To look at the to copy the file, to copy those properties. Okay, again you go to the user properties file. Again you go to the user properties file on the slave machine as well. Okay, here is the user properties file. So let me open this in Notepad++. Okay, here is the slave machine user properties file. Here is the slave machine user properties file, and on the slave machine, the user properties file, you have to copy the same properties, the distribution testing properties. Okay, and again here also you give the remote host, same remote host 127.0.0.1 and 192.168.0.104, and also give the same password, which is perf Isha. It's a perf Isha. Okay, just now before the class itself I have tried it, so this has been already copied into the slave machine. Okay, so on the slave machine as well, in the user properties of the slave machine, again you copy this distribution testing configuration, you change the remote host and change the password. Okay, so this user properties file, both for the slave machine and the master machine, this user properties file needs to be copied. Okay, so this distribution testing configuration properties needs to be added to the user properties of both the slave and the master machine. Are we clear, guys? Are we clear? Are we clear, all of you? Yeah. Okay, so far what we have done, guys. Okay, so let me go back here, close the user properties file. Okay, create the RMI key store file, copied it into the slave machine. Now modify user properties files, modify user property file, both master and slave. Okay, the thing that you majorly concentrate is the password of the RMI key store and the remote host. So these are the two things that you modify. These are the two things that you modify in the user properties file. Okay, two things that you modify in the okay. Now we are very close to getting it done, guys. Only one step is remaining. Okay. Okay. Now there is a program called user server. You need to start this program both on the master and the slave machine. Okay, let's go ahead and start. Again, go to the bin folder, look for the program called Jmeter server. This is not the program, you cannot start. It is a file. Okay, find for another Jmeter server. Okay, you need to find a program called Jmeter server. Again, this Jmeter server is a file, you cannot start it. Okay, this is the program. You see Windows batch file. So this is the program that you need to start. I'm on the master machine, I'm starting this. Okay, so I'm starting this Jmeter server. Okay, and as you can see here, found Apache Jmeter _ jar. This is the program that will be executed for this Jmeter server. And here it is saying that create remote object. Okay, created remote object. This is an indication that this program has been running successfully. This program is running successfully. Now your master has started. Okay, so far all these 5 steps or 6 steps that we have seen, 4 steps that we have seen, this is all the configuration. So far this is all the configuration. Okay, so far this is all the configuration. The 5th step is the main step wherein you start the program. For master slave. Okay, you start the program for the master slave. Okay, master slave. On the master, okay, slave, right? SLAV. Okay, so on the master, go to the bin folder and run this program called Jmeter _ server, and now the program has started. And make sure it is 192.160. I don't know why it is saying 103. Okay, it is showing some IP address, so it's fine. Okay, fine. So your master has started. Now go to the slave and start the slave as well. Go to the slave. So Narendra, if there are multiple slaves, go to all the slaves and change the user properties files for all the slaves, and also copy this RMI keystores.ksa that file JKS file in all the slaves. Okay. So how many number of slaves are there? If there are 2 slaves, copy this RMI keystore file in both the slaves and change the user properties files in all the files. Okay. Are we clear, Narendra? Are we clear?
Kumar, but one thing here, suppose I have 2 slaves, right? In 2 slaves, in slaves user property need to copy in master, right? Suppose which is act as a master. Suppose it is having 2 or 3 slaves. Are the in user properties what will be there in slaves actually? Only the IP configuration and no that whatever the password would be there under slave. Okay, but
Right.
the master need to consider all the 3 slaves, right? In that case, in the user property of master file, in master machine, all the no user property of slave machines, whatever no the 3 files, all the 3 information we need to copy under master, right?
Right. So the password will be same for all of them. All the properties are same except the remote host. Okay, in the remote host you need all the IP addresses, and in the slaves as well. I think if you put all the IP addresses, it should not matter. But I haven't tried with 3 machines, but it should not be difficult. You can play around. So this question is from whom? Raghu, or who is asking this question?
Narendra only.
Narendra only, right? So
Yeah, yeah.
Narendra, so the only thing that you are worried about is the remote host, right? Everything else will be
Yes.
same.
Yeah, yeah.
The same distribution testing configuration properties you copy in all the files, okay, all the slaves. But I am guessing that I never tried with 3. I'm guessing that let's say there are 2 slaves and 1 master, so you have 3 IP addresses here. So the same 3 should be there in the other 2 machines as well. This is what is my guess. Because
I
slave
think
1 should also know that there is slave 2.
under remote host, right? So whatever the property here, a distributed testing configuration, under that, in the remote host, how many slaves are there? If you maintain the same information, that is enough, I think. Even whether the three are or even five also.
Yeah.
After that, no, the IP, right? Whatever we are maintaining, 192.168.0.104. After that, we will put another comma, and
Yeah.
whatever the slaves machines are there, we will add all those slave machines here, I think.
Right. So if there is one more slave machine called 105, you will just say 192.168.0.105.
Mm.
Okay.
Yeah.
If there are 6 more, you add the IP addresses of all of them.
Mm.
That's all. Okay. Now this is the slave machine that I'm showing you. So go to the bin folder of the slave machine. Again, start the same program, which is the Jmeter server. Okay. So you see, this is the program. Don't start the file. Start the one which has Windows batch file. Okay. Double click on it. Okay, so you see, found Apache underscore code called jar, and this indication created remote object. This is an indication that the slave machine is started. Okay, and it's saying the IP address, which is 192.168.0.104. Now both the master machine and slave machine are started. Both the master machine and slave machine programs have started. Now you can use this particular program. Okay, now let me go back and then uh, make my master machine as a presenter. Okay, now my slave machine is also started. Okay, so both my master machine and slave machines are now started. Both the master and slave machines are now started. Okay, so you started the program on both the master and slave machine. With this the master slave configuration and start setting up, everything is done. Okay, now what is the agenda? Now I will execute a test. Okay, execute the test. Okay, I'll execute the test. Okay, while execute the test, I will have certain number of users, certain number of users. Okay, certain number of users. Okay, coming from master, and then certain number of users from slave. Okay, from slave. Okay, so I'll execute a test, but make sure certain users are from master, certain users are from slave. So after the whole setup is done, I need to restart the Jmeter so that it will pick up the new setup and will identify master slave. So let me restart the Jmeter. Okay. So now it should pick up the master slave configuration. It should pick up the my Jmeter now will pick up the master slave configuration. Okay. So hang on guys, 1 second. Okay. Okay, guys. 1 second. Okay. Now it should pick up the master slave configuration. How do I know it has picked up? Go to run and say remote host. You should be able to see these two IP addresses that you have put in the user properties file. You see, these are the two things that you have put in the user properties file. 127.0.1, which is the local machine, which is the master machine, and 192.168.0.104. And this Jmeter needs to be opened from where? Jmeter needs to be opened from where? Should I open it from master or should I open it from slave? Jmeter should be opened from master or slave. Guys, there are 8 students in the class. Should I open from the master or should I open from the slave? Master. Okay. Should I need to open the Jmeter from the master. Not both. Okay. The program needs to be opened from both, which is Jmeter-server, but the Jmeter itself needs to be opened from master. It should be given. You need not have to open the Jmeter on the slave machine. Whether it is open or not, it doesn't matter. Slave machine is there only to give you the virtual user. Okay. So let me open any script. Okay. So I'll open this script. But make sure there is something times. Okay, so there's no thing times in here, right? So let me add the thing times. Okay, so now okay, I need to execute this with 10 users, let's assume. Okay, so I need to execute this with 10 users, so the script will be executed in this 10 users. But this 10 users should come from where is what you have to define. Okay, so this 10 users from where you need to give it, you need to define. And you see, you wanted this 10 users come from the master machine. Just to say remote start and say 127.0.0.1, and you click on that, and you see all the 10 users have come. But 10 users have come from where? 10 users have come from where? 127.0.0.1. Okay, these 10 users have come from 127.0.0.1. How do I know? How do I know? First is it will be disabled here, which means that this 10 users is given by this machine. And second indication is, you see, if you go to that program Jmeter-server, that program, there it is saying that, you see, starting the test on the host 127.0.1. What is the time? 8:24. You see, that's the time, 8:25. So you see, that's the time. Okay. So IST, Indian Standard. Okay. So these 10 users have come from this particular host, which is 127.0.1. Okay, but this is the master machine. I need to get it from the slave machine. Let's see if I can get it from the slave machine as well. Okay, so you look at it. So the things are happening. You see, the things are happening, and it is all the 10 users are executing as well. Okay, so let me stop the test. Let me stop the test. How do I stop the test? Go to run and then remote stop or remote shutdown. Remote shutdown or remote stop. You can do one of them. Okay, I'll do remote shutdown. You see, now all the 10 users have stopped. And here, there is an indication here that finish the test on the host and so time, which is 8:25:56. Okay, so this is done on the master machine. Now, the same test I'll run on the slave machine. How do I run it on the slave machine? Click on run, remote start, and now you select the slave machine, which is 192.168.0.104. Okay. Now you see, all the 10 users have come. All the 10 users have come. Where these 10 users have come from? Wherever it is disabled. You see, this is disabled, which means that all the 10 users have come from the slave machine. And you see, it is executing the script as well without any issues. Okay. And now another confirmation. Let me go to the slave machine. Let me go to the slave machine. Make as a presenter. Okay, so let me go to the slave machine, and now in the slave machine, if you're looking at this program, right, you see started the test on the host 192.168.0.104 at what time? 8:26. You see that on the slave machine. Can you see this, guys? On the slave machine, the program is being executed. These 10 users are given by the slave machine, not the master machine. And one more indication, let me go to the master machine. I'm making master machine as a presenter, guys. And on the master machine, if you see there is nothing, there is no program has started. There was one started at 8:24 and finished at 8:25. I've started something at 8:26, nothing has started. But this 8:26 test is started on the slave machine. Okay, so you see clearly the users are coming from the slave machine. Okay, now let me stop it. Let me stop the test on the slave machine. Okay, so let me stop it. Okay, now all the things have done. Okay, now you can run it on both the machines. Run on both the machines. It says remote all. Okay, so there is something called remote start all. Okay, remote start all, which means that you can start on both the machines. Now you tell me, guys, I have a question. There seems to be some questions. Let me see those questions. Okay, now Narendra, I'll come to that question. Now if I say remote start all, okay, it will start on both this local machine, which is the master machine, and slave machine. And in the thread group, I have given it as 10 users. Now if I say remote start all, will it start with 10 users? Option 1. Will it start with 10 users? Option 1. Okay, option 1. Will it start with 10 users? Or option 2, will it start with 20 users? 10 users on the master machine and 10 users on the slave machine. So will it start with 20 users? So what is this, guys? Option 1 or option 2? Option 1 or option 2, guys? Okay, so most of you are saying option 2. Wonderful. It will take 10 users from the master machine and 10 users from the slave machine. Okay, if I say remote start all, okay, so what will happen? It will start 20 users. 10 users from master machine and 10 users from the slave machine. Why? Because you have given 10 users here, and this 10 users, master machine will give you 10 users, master machine, slave machine will give you 10 users, so 20 users. And this program will start on both the master machine and slave machine. You see 829 master machine. I'm looking at the slave machine as well. I'm not going to show it to you. I'm tired of switching back and forth, but on the slave machine also, it has started the program exactly at 829. Okay, so but both the machines, it is giving you those 10 users. Had you had one more machine, it will give you 10 users. Overall, the test you want 10 users, you can give 5 here, so that master machine will give you 5 users and slave machine will give you. You can remote shutdown. Okay, this is what is the master slave configuration is. Okay, interview, definitely there will be one question. Okay, so I have one question. Okay, finally. Okay, if you have any questions, please unmute yourself and speak, guys. But I have one question. Okay, I am running a test with 100 users. Okay, 50 users should come from California and 50 users should come from LA. California is LA, right? New York. Okay, is it possible, guys? Is it possible? Okay, just say yes or no. Okay, I need to. So it's not possible in Jmeter. Okay, Narendra says that. Others, I need to run a test with 100 users. 50 of them should be from California, 50 of them is from New York. Is it possible? Just say yes or no. There's only one student who is active, Narendra. Everybody is just being passive thing. Whether you're giving right answer, wrong answer, it is okay. But I just want to get a pulse for as to what you think. Okay, so there are only 3 answers. Okay, only 3 students are attending the class. That's what it means. Okay, so all of them have said no. I would say it's possible. It's possible. Okay, so master machine. Okay, master machine. Put it. Make sure master machine is in California. Make sure master machine is in California, and slave machine is in New York. Okay, slave machine is in New York. Okay, just if you can do that, if you can put master machine is California and slave machine in New York, and make sure they are in the same network, it is possible using the VPNs. Using the VPNs, even though they are in completely different physical locations, VPN can bring both these machines into the same network. Make sure they have the VPN so that you bring both of them into the same network, and then now it will be as if these 50 users are from New York and 50 users are from California. It's possible, but it's very tedious job. Okay, so let's say 50 users are from India, then again you have to put one more slave in India and then make sure it's in the same network, bring it into the same network using VPN, and then have the users come from India. But it is such a tedious job and you don't want it to get into all that kind of thing. So to avoid these issues or to take care of these issues, people usually execute the test in a tool called Blazemeter. In the tool called Blazemeter, or there is another tool, I forgot. What was the tool? Anil Mainani, you're telling me there was another tool called Octoperf, yeah.
Yes, Octoperf.
So this Octoperf tool, okay, using these 2 tools, the tools will take care of it. You just need to say, I need 50 users from California, 50 users from New York, 50 from Japan, 100 from India. The tool itself will take care of it. You need not have to create any master slave configuration. You need not have to make sure slaves are in different physical locations. You need not have to worry about anything. You just say that these many users come from this place. Automatically the tools, this Blazemeter and Octoperf tools will take care of it. You just need to upload your script into this Blazemeter and just tell them that this many users has to be from these users. It should be taken care. Yes, Narendra. There is a tool called Shundra in LoadRunner. We used to take care of it, but that was history. Now the LoadRunner itself was giving the network virtualization. So in LoadRunner, it is possible using network virtualization. In Jmeter, okay, we need to use the tools called Blazemeter or Octoperf, which will take care of this. Okay, you can explore this Blazemeter Octoperf tool, guys. They are cloud-based tools. It is very simple. Okay, just upload the tools, upload the script over there, and give the number of users and run it. I think 50 users, it is free. You can give it a shot, okay, and you can try it on those. It's not too difficult. If you explore a little bit, it should be easy for you. Okay, so this is what it is, guys. So any questions, guys? Today's class we are wrapping it up. Tomorrow there is a very important session. Try to join tomorrow. We'll create a scenario and create a load test and run it tomorrow, and also we'll show you how to create a dashboard reports and all that tomorrow. Make sure you attend tomorrow, guys. So day after tomorrow we will see a Jmeter integration with Jenkins, and we'll try to wrap it up day after tomorrow, the Jmeter sessions. Okay, so the other things if possible we will cover, but this is what I have planned for this particular course, and we'll wrap it up. Okay, yeah. Any questions? I'm here, guys. Any questions? I'm here. I'm going to send the video as usual within the. Any questions, guys? So I'll try to cover Dynatrace. I'll take some time. I need to set up and do a lot of stuff. After these 3 days, when Jmeter is done, I'll take 2 to 3 days break and set up the Dynatrace, and I'll take maybe a couple of classes on Dynatrace to give you a feel for it. Okay? Yes, Narendra, I'll share you that user properties files with you. Okay? I'll ask Anita to give it to you. Okay? Thank you, guys. Thank you. Do join tomorrow. We'll see you tomorrow in the class. Okay, guys. Thank you for joining. See you tomorrow.